I just finished playing golf on my way home. When I heard the news, I just had to pull over and unleash. The Pittsburgh Steelers actually did it. They're actually going to sign a washed up 41-year-old finger-pointing, blame-deflecting diva Aaron Rodgers. They're going to allow Aaron Rodgers to steal from the Steelers? You're kidding. I can't believe it. He's, as LeBron says, completely washed. He was washed his last 3 years in Green Bay. Go look at the numbers of Aaron Rodgers' last 3 playoff games in Green Bay, and I'm including the final game. That was the final regular season game he played for Green Bay, which was a playoff for the playoffs against the upcoming, at that point, Detroit Lions. Go look at the numbers. Twice in a row before that, they had the number 1 seed. They're at home. What? He was washed then. I told the Jets he was washed. They actually got a reprieve because he tore his Achilles. Hope it's okay now. But he's done. When he came back last year, he was done. He hit the wall and then went over the cliff into quarterback retirement hell. He just can't play anymore. Last year, you could just see he lost arm strength. He's lost all his mobility. And most of all, he's just lost his guts for playing football. He's stealing. And what are they going to give him? I don't know what it'll end up. Will they give him $50 million for the year? They're just treading water because the Steelers have come to this. I used to hate the Steelers back in the days they played the Cowboys in the Super Bowls. They got us the first 2 times. We got them the next time. But what has become of the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't hate them anymore. I pity them. And I like Mike Tomlin, but I can't defend the fact that they haven't, guys just pulling behind me here. They haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. I love Mike Tomlin. I would say if I could play pro football, I'd want to play for that guy. Well, I can't defend his record as a head coach. What's it been? 15 years since Aaron Rodgers beat him in the Super Bowl. And what's Aaron post that Super Bowl that he got to play against Polamalu with a pulled hamstring? Those are the days I knew Ryan Clark very well, and it was just clear Polamalu had a pulled badly. He shouldn't have played in the game, and Ryan was kind of on his last legs, playing more with his head than his body at that point. Yeah, Aaron made the one great throw to my guy Greg Jennings for the game-breaking touchdown. He's 7-9 since then, and go look at the 7. All of them have luck factor to it. I mean, he beat Joe Webb in a playoff game, who was a receiver starting a quarterback for the Vikings. Then remember when Odell went to South Beach to prepare for a game, his first playoff game ever on the frozen tundra? Just one thing after, remember the playoff game at Texas Stadium, Jerry World? Those 2 intergalactic surreal field goals from Mason Crossbar beat us from, 55 and 51 yards. One was a dying quail that barely made it over the crossbar, and the other one he hooked it left, and it was a hand of God field goal where a hooked field goal off his foot actually somehow curved back, faded back right between the upright. I don't know. That's Aaron bleeping Rodgers. He's washed. But it was down to Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph. Trust me, Mason Rudolph this coming year would be a more effective quarterback than Aaron bleeping Rodgers. That's how bad it is for the Steelers. They are now my candidate to plunge. They're now, to me, starting to look like the odds-on favorite, especially with the division they play in, for the first pick in the draft next year. I don't know which quarterback's going to rise to the top. Maybe it'll be Arch Manning. Maybe Arch Manning will be next year's Pittsburgh Steelers starter in game 1. I hope so for their sake, because this is going to be a disaster, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't care because he's grifting now. He's going to steal from the once mighty Steelers. Really? Steeler fans, I've heard from a lot of you lately. It's come to this for you? Well, at least he's still got a name, but he ain't got any game.